Data center trends. If we take a look at all the different technologies, applications, and pillars that are being pushed down on the infrastructure below, there's a lot of challenges that are happening. So if I take a look at cloud, how do I deal with elastic workloads as I scale out east to west application workloads, whether that's cloud-based applications, big data and analytics, and how consumers and customers are accessing these different types of applications, meaning they're not coming in traditional sense of a laptop or a PC. They're enabling these applications from a mobile device and coming from places that are not trusted within the typical data center facilities. So if you look at the characteristics of the network, we're looking at how do we scale east to west from a network topology, how do we move from CLI centric to programmability as a data center trend, and then agility, and how do I make things more simplistic and easier to scale, manage physical and virtual workloads, as well as physical and virtual security appliance as well. And then once all of that is taken into account, what do I have to do from a manageability perspective? I have different things that have to be taken into account as far as capacity planning, underlay, and overlay management. If I look at the transitions, we have different characteristics that are happening within the data center. I have 10 gig attached servers moving to 25/50 gig and sometimes even 40 gig attached servers, whether it's physical workloads or bare metal workloads, whether it's physical appliances from a security perspective or virtual appliances. And then I look at multi-cloud. What does multi-cloud mean? Multi-cloud takes into context that most customers have a multi-hypervisor strategy to where they're going to have one or more hypervisors within their environment. So how do I instantiate policy across multiple physical and virtual hypervisors and accommodate the changing need of the applications in big data? And if you look at each legend, these are the reference where all these different numbers came from on the bottom left-hand side. And what this net results into is customers are after a lower total cost of ownership, workload flexibility, increased agility, and how do I have compliance and security pervasive end-to-end in a multi-cloud in an application changing environment. So today's data center challenges has led to disjoint provisioning, command line centric to where we're managing things on a box by box basis, disruptive growth, how do I scale cloud applications on a linear fashion, deficient host overlay, and location dependency, meaning that IP addresses are typically coupled to the actual location that a given device lives in. All of these challenges have led to operational complexity, architectural rigidness, and infrastructure inefficiencies, meaning that if I manage things on a box-by-box basis, I'm not getting scale as much as I'd like to for the new applications and new workloads that I'm bringing into my private cloud infrastructure. And then how do I federate these security policies to public cloud to where I have a hybrid cloud notion? And this is exactly what Programmable Fabric is going to address, to where I have a programmable infrastructure, I have an open set of APIs, I have a scale-out architecture, hybrid overlays, and then total host mobility to where I decouple the identity of a given host to its location. This results in I'm simplifying the actual underlying fabric of the data center. I'm optimizing things on where I can place workloads at scale for east-west traffic, for example, and I can automate and instantiate workload onto the fabric. These are all elements that Programmable Fabric addresses, and we're going to cover these in the following lessons in very good detail.